meditation. You can do this awake. I'd rather do it if I'm sleeping with lucid dreaming. That would be the way to do it, I think. People who say they experience soul travel say that their spirit or body has left their physical body and it moves into another dimension known as a spirit world or astral plane. Okay? And the concept of it has been around and practiced for thousands of years, dating back to ancient China, and is now associated with the New Age movement. Psychics say that the subconscious or dreaming mind contains the spirit or your astral body. Most dreams are not remembered, of course, making the experience of soul travel, kind of iffy because you don't remember. Oh, Young Guns? Really? What book, though? The Silver Umbilical Cord. What book? It's a pretty popular book by one of our favorite authors. Wow. Believers in soul travel point out that most ghost sightings often define the ghost as lucid or transparent apparition walking on the earth. Good one. Yeah, that's a good one, Michelle. Glad you could stop in. Have you ever had have you ever traveled? You're the one to ask. I did give you a hint, Lori, I did. It's one of your favorite authors. I can't give you much more than that. Michelle, have you ever had went traveling? I did give you a hint. It's one of your favorite authors, Lori. Okay. There's a contention, and it's unclear whether every physical object has an astral counterpart, okay? Or if a spirit literally uses incarnation into a physical body. And this is what results. Aliens, no. Nope. Good one, though. Good try. I gave you a hint, Lori. I can't give you much more of that. You love this story. Who's your favorite author? So there, it's subject, to interpretation on that. Soul travel also touches on life itself and what happens after physical death. There are two general schools of thought on the nature of soul travel. It can broadly be defined as mystical models. The mystical model includes a large variety of belief systems and astral maps, but they're not tied together by their belief that soul travel takes place outside the physical body. In this, in mystical model, a more subtle energy is believed to carry your consciousness outside of your body. And be allowed to travel into these astral planes. Here's another book you can get or look up. Robert Peterson, Out of Body Experiences. So there's another one. There's different types of. Oh, but you couldn't? Well, maybe you were a little afraid to. They say that when you do astral projection, that you're tied to your physical body by a silver umbilical cord. What book does that bring to mind? It's Lori, it's your favorite author, and it brings it to mind immediately. That's part of it. You felt like you were floating, so you're like halfway there to doing that. It's your favorite author, Lori. It's one of his best books. There's different types of projection. There's astral projection, where you find yourself in an apparently real domain. And this has been experienced by traditional people, which have no parallel to any physical setting. And this is described by New Agers and occultists as the astral plane. Environments here may range from populated to unpopulated, artificial to natural, completely abstract, or horrific even. Normal physical laws often do not apply. Well, you were actually, Michelle, you were actually still in your bed, but your consciousness is going to travel. Yeah, I do too. I do believe people can do this. Yeah. You just didn't travel far enough, I don't think. Very cool. Oh, I do too. I believe people can. But, the environments there's no, what's the word I want to use? There's no preconceived environments or anything in the astral plane, okay? Normal physical laws, of course, don't apply. And humans can often, for example, float or fly. So there you go. You were floating, so you've got part of it. The physical detail ranges from crude, non-detailed, and depressing to bright, vivid, and fascinating. Another book is Robert Bruce. I think so too. I think you're right there. But Robert Bruce in his book Astral Dynamics. So there's another book for you to look up. Travelers can travel from one realm to the other. They might find access to visions of the past or future, accessible from here. It is said that space and time do not exist on the astral plane, okay? Or any higher plane. But there's no explanations given as to how forms and entire environments can exist without dimensions involved. It's just there. Nor why there can be a sequence of events, but no such thing as time. A lot of good questions, Yeah, I do too. I agree too. Travelers have theorized that people having dreams actually travel to the astral realms unaware. Travelers have reported seeing dreamers enact dream scenarios on the astral plane, unaware of the more extensive and varied non-physical environment surrounding them. Some other claims, common movements in dreams, such as falling dreams. See, I think that's part of it, Michelle. Yes. And falling dreams, walking through quicksand, and that's your astral body in action. So, and there's also called etheric projection. In contrast to the astral, the traditional understanding of an OBE involves the projector or the traveler. Oh, I do too. Oh, I hate that feeling. Moving about in usually in invisible or ghost-like form in a physical reality, okay? Known as the etheric body. This world may have minor differences between the physical world, we know. Proponents of Robert Bruce sometimes refer to this process as real-time projection. You're more like a ghost traveling in this world, okay? Real time, not on another plane. You're here, like you want to go visit a friend or somebody, but that's how you do it. It's in real time. That's etheric projection. And the etheric body and the astral body are not the same, okay? We could get into that, but wow. Yeah, the falling dreams. We're going to be discussing that here pretty soon. Mental projection is another form. It's a projection of the astral body to the mental plane, using mental energy while within either etheric or astral, into the mental. It's a different process used to project directly. The active subtle body of the mental plane is a mental body. It's so confusing with this. The environment is generally highly colorful and kind of kaleidoscope in nature. This is mental projection. So, the difference is that even mathematical functions and thoughts will manifest seeming physically. The buffer zone between the astral and mental planes is known as the Akashic Records, and it appears as a library of knowledge of past, present, and future possibilities. Many theories as to why the perception of these records and the mental plane, differ from the other. But the general consensus is that the Akashic Records will appear differently, like a computer or a library, to different people at different times. The future is always sketchy and can change mid-view. So that's mental projection. There's but I think the two biggest ones are your astral and etheric projections. So I hope that you kind of understood that. Okay, you haven't figured the book out yet? I'm going to type it in here, Lori. Tell me if I'm wrong. Excuse me. I'm sorry, I just got up a couple hours ago. Oh, getting up there. I went to bed when I did last night early. When I talked to you guys, I took my pill. I was still up at 4 o'clock. I got about 2 hours of sleep before I had to go to work. So, right, Lori? Yes, no? Dr. Sleep. The cords. Doesn't that didn't the silver umbilical cord did not remind you of Dr. Sleep? That's the first book that came to mind when I read that earlier. Dr. Sleep, yeah. Yes. See? Yeah, see? I knew you knew that. Oh, got to pull it out of you, girl. Yes, that should be that popped into my mind immediately. It was Dr. Sleep. So, yeah. Yes. Yeah, see, told you. Okay, but do you think astral projection is real? It's a spiritual theory out of the out-of-body experience. Is it actual projection, real, or is it a form of lucid dreaming? That's a big question. Yes, that should have been your big clue right away. The cord. Yes. For skeptics, soul travel is controversial because of the lack of physical evidence. Oh, here we go. Again, it's it's not black and white, people. People think they are. Yeah, I knew you'd get it sooner or later. So, what do you think? But you're not going to have, like I said, scientists are so black and white. There's so many gray areas that they won't even consider it.